Hello and welcome to math, where today we're going to learn slope-intercept form given slope and a point. Okay, so to write an equation in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, you need your slope and you need a y-intercept, right? Remember, slope is m and the y-intercept is the b. Okay, so what I'm talking about here is like when you get something like this, where it says write an equation in slope-intercept form of a line that has a slope of 2 and passes through the point -3, 1. So they want to know this equation. So how do we figure this out? Well, because we know this equation, y equals mx plus b, we can plug in what we know and figure out what we don't know. Okay? So what we can do is we can substitute 2 in for m because it said slope was 2. Well, m is our slope, right? So I can plug 2 in for our slope. And it passes through this point. So -3 is my x value, so I can plug in -3 for x, like I did here. And I can also plug in 1 for y, because that's my y value at this point. And what I'm doing is I'm solving for b. Okay, so I'm solving for b, trying to get b by itself. So then all I would do is 2 times -3 gave me -6, and I want to get b by itself. So to get rid of a -6, I would do a +6. So 1 plus 6 would give me 7. So then my new equation is my slope-intercept form. I don't plug back in the y and the x. The y and the x stay y and x. So it's going to be y equals, because that's my slope-intercept, and then my slope is 2, and then x, and now we solve for our y-intercept, which was 7, so we put +7, right? So because we know y equals mx plus b, we just plug in what we know, and we solve for what we don't know. All right, so let's try this one. It says, write an equation of a line that has a slope of 3 and passes through 4, -2. All right, so I'm going to start by writing my equation, y equals mx plus b. All right, then I'm going to plug in what I know. All right, y, do I know what y is? Yes, I do. It's -2. All right, m, do I know what m is? Yes, I do, because it says slope of 3. So slope is 3. All right, x, do I know what x is? Yes, I do, because it gave me a point. 4 is my x value. So I'm going to plug in 4 for x. I put this in parentheses because mx means times, and a number next to parentheses means times. Do I know my b? No, I do not. I do not know my b. So that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm solving. All right, so now I can solve this. Well, 3 times 4 gives me 12. Right, and 12 plus b, and over here I still got that -2. So now I'm going to get b by itself, so I'm going to do -12 to move over here, and that's going to leave me with b equals -2 minus 12 is -14. Okay, so that is my b, that's my y-intercept. That is not my equation, so it's not c. No, not that. A is not my answer. No, not that. Because that's a regular equation, y equals mx plus b. We know too much information for that, right? Okay, b is close to my answer, right? This is what we plugged in up here, but we don't know the b, so that's not right. It is d, y equals 3x minus 14, because 3 was our slope, and minus 14 was what we just solved for, right? So that is my answer, y equals 3x minus 14. All right, let's try one more. It says m equals 1/2, and it passes through 6, 7. So I'm going to start by writing y equals mx plus b. And then I'm going to plug in what I know. Right? Do I know y? Yes, I do. I know y. It says 7. So I'm going to plug 7 in for y. Do I know m? Yes, I do. It's 1/2. So I'm going to plug 1/2 in for m. Do I know x? Yes, I know x. It's 6. So I'm going to plug 6 in for x. I don't know b again, right? So 1/2 times 6 is 3, so I'm left with 7 equals 3 plus b. I gotta get b by itself, so I gotta do -3 to both sides, and that's gonna get rid of that. And I'm left with b equals 7 minus 3 is 4. All right, so that is my y-intercept. So what's my equation? Well, my equation is y equals mx plus b, and I gotta plug in what I know. So y equals, my m was 1/2, right? My slope's always attached to x, so it's 1/2 x. And now my y-intercept is 4. It's a positive 4, so I'm going to put a +4. Okay? All right, let's do one more. All right, so I'm going to plug in y equals mx plus b and plug in what I know and solve for what I don't know. Okay? So y equals -4, or so y is -8. My slope is -4. X is 2. And I don't know b. -4 times 2 is -8. So I'm left with -8 plus b on this side. And on this side, I'm left still have that -8. So I want to get b by itself, so I have to do +8 to get rid of this. And do the same thing over here. Negative 8 plus 8 gives me 0, so 0 equals b. So I got to plug this back into my y equals mx plus b. So it's going to be y equals, my m was negative 4, so it'll be negative 4, and m's always attached to x. And now it says 0, so it would be like plus 0. That's my slope-intercept form, right? But when it's 0, we don't have to add that. So really, it's just y equals negative 4x, and that is my final answer. All right, so that is how we write an equation when you're given a slope and you're given a point. If you ever have any questions, ask your teacher. See you next time.